Hey everyone, Radney Crawford here with 3 Wide, here to give you a little preview of our new podcast episode where we look over at NASCAR's race weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll discuss Josh Berry getting his first career win, as well as all the action from Xfinity Series and the Craftsman Truck Series over the weekend, and we'll even preview the upcoming race weekend at Homestead, Miami. So I hope y'all enjoy it, and let's dive right in. Now, when you look at the top 10 finishers from Sunday's race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, there are storylines to be found throughout this finishing order, starting with Josh Berry, who got the race win, the first Cup victory of his career, and also the Wood Brothers' 101st win. This was also the first non-Hendrick driver to win the Spring Vegas race in the last 4 years. You then had Daniel Suarez finishing in second, finally getting his first top 5 of the season, and this is also back-to-back top 5s for Suarez at Las Vegas. Ryan Preece finished in third, tying his career best finish. Then you had William Byron in fourth. That's now 3 top 5s on the season for Byron, and also 6 top 10s in the last 7 Las Vegas races. Ross Chastain rounded out the top 5, his first top 5 on the season as well, and he only has 1 finish outside the top 15 so far in 2025. Austin Cindric gets a top 10 finish, the second of the year, after 3 disappointing weeks for Cindric. Then Alex Bowman in 7th, his 4th top 10 on the season, tying with teammate William Byron for the most so far. A.J. Allmendinger finished in 8th, a quiet top 10 day for A.J. Allmendinger, the first of his season. Kyle Larson, he finished in 9th, his 13th Las Vegas top 10, and his 18 career starts here. Chase Elliott rounded out the top 10, his first Las Vegas top 10 since 2022, but still has yet to finish outside the top 20 this year as well. So solid starts for drivers like Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott. Now, of course, the biggest storyline coming out of Las Vegas on Sunday was Josh Berry getting his first career Cup victory and what has been kind of a revival of the Wood Brothers as a team. And if you go back and listen to my season preview podcast where I discussed the Wood Brothers have been more competitive and relevant in recent years when they've had a veteran driver. You look at their time with Paul Menard and Matt DiBenedetto, in their runs with the team, their average finishes were inside the top 20, and now you see how big a difference it makes compared from Harrison Burton to now Josh Berry. We know how much of a struggle that Wood Brothers and Harrison Burton had over the past 3 years. That's not a knock on Harrison Burton. Harrison has the talent to be a star in this series. He won 4 races in the Xfinity Series with Joe Gibbs Racing. You now look at his return to the Xfinity Series driving for AM Racing. He has 3 top 10s already on the season with that team, and that's more than any of the 7 drivers they had combined driving for him last year in that car. So Burton obviously has the talent. I think he was just brought up a little too quick into the Cup Series. You add in the next gen car, and that put him even further behind the 8 ball. And sometimes drivers and teams just don't mesh. It just doesn't work out. I think the reason it works out best with Josh Berry and the Wood Brothers, as we've seen so far this season, is they're pretty much one and the same. Josh is very much a throwback driver. Now, we know the Wood Brothers are obviously the oldest team in NASCAR. They're very much a throwback to the sport. And Josh Berry is a throwback sort of driver where he just wants to go out and race. That's all he's concerned about. But you can see that the speed, the performance of this team has improved so far this year with how he qualified at Daytona before the dual races. He qualified up front at Atlanta and led the second most laps in that race, got a stage win. He did struggle at road courses, which is no surprise there. That's not exactly his strong suit. But at Phoenix, it should have been a wake-up call for all of us to know that this isn't the same Wood Brothers from the past 3 years. Josh Berry qualified in 4th and finished in 4th. And it wasn't off of a fluke pit stop or anything like that. He finished in the top 10 in both stages. Then he comes to Las Vegas, where he qualifies again in the top 10, gets in a battle for the lead late after a caution, gets it from Daniel Suarez, beats him straight up on speed, and gets the win after pulling away in the last 14 laps. And by then, we will see how legit this team is, if they are for real, or have they just hit it lucky the past couple weeks and done just the perfect thing to their car to get them in these positions. Looking at how Josh Berry has performed and the speed he's shown throughout the first 5 races this season, especially the super speedways, I have a feeling that when the playoffs start, Josh Berry is going to be sitting with quite a few more playoff points than he has right now. Appreciate y'all taking the time to check out this preview of our newest podcast episode here at 3 Wide, where we looked at the Las Vegas race weekend. If you liked what you saw, you can find the podcast episode in full right here on YouTube or by clicking on one of the links in the description below, taking you to one of our podcast platforms. We'll be discussing more of the top 10 finishers and the storylines that go along with them, as well as those that didn't quite crack the top 10. We'll also look, as I said, at the Xfinity Series and Truck Series action and look ahead to Homestead Miami. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day, and we'll see you next time here on 3 Wide.